Okay, paper. This is Mervelee Myers coming from Alma Grove. I'm still working out how best to do my podcast and how I'm going to set up my workstation. But at the moment, everything is not in order yet. I still need to sort out some things. I am trying to avoid going into a depression, so I have to just keep going. So that's why I am working as it is now. I'm not even doing a live. I'm doing it on my camcorder because I don't think I'm in a state to do live. I'm not presentable. Right, so I'm going to start with my... Okay, so 1807. I'm going to start with my Horoscope Daily Express Russell Grant. Copyright. And as I said, I'm very awkward at the moment. You're ready for the work that lies ahead. You will roll up your sleeves and get on with it. Someone will keep making demands, but you won't be distracted. They're going to have to manage on their own because you have things to do. And so right. As you can see, that's my mama. My Facebook memories. Yesterday I was celebrating my dad's passing and coming to terms now how many years after. Yep. So I'm going to put that aside. I've used that. And I'm going to pick this up so you can see. It's a case, your crime information. Because the police taking me for an idiot. Yeah? The police came into my house telling me some stupidness. I've never heard this in my whole life. So is this what's called dumbing down? Let me get on with it. So I'm going to show you. I'm not going to necessarily read everything that's there. I'm going to show you some information and tally in the dates. Yeah? So over there you will see crime reference number and the year. So the year is 2000. Up here you will see the date. And that should be 1998. Data Protection Access. I was studying at Lambeck College. Right, so here you will see, it's a little bit of paper that I got the name of the police who was dealing with my case. Look at the date, 12 of the 4th, 04. That's it. And it's Walworth Police Station. To where, so those are Brixton. These two Brixton, this Walworth Police Station. To where now I have to tell the police and put it on record that I don't trust the police. Yeah? It's not because of one issue, but a lot of issues to do with that folder that you see here. All to do with the police. And I can show you something to tie in. Yeah? That's the name of Andrew Truby, lawyer for the Director General, Independent Office for Police Conduct. Please take note of the date, 24th of November 2019. So as I said, I won't be going into too much. I need to focus on that. This is a folder. I actually have a folder for the police. Yeah? So I'm coming back here. So yes, so this one is done. So I can put that aside. Yeah. And over here now you can see what it says is my chronic anxiety diagnosis. Yes. I want you to take note of the date. 18th of July 2008. Yet when I was promised a medical report by the said doctor, he failed to give me one because of course he works with the NHS and the NHS was involved. Yeah? I don't want that to go off because it might. Right, so this is a whole different ball game. I'm going to put this down for a little bit and fix that. I am trying to be methodical and so I don't get into a panic attack. Yeah? So this is now some information that I've put together. And here you can see I'm just going to scan that, yeah? So it's updated. It was 2009, 13th of the 6th, 2009 when this was done. And as you can see, it says Westminster Children's Society. Westminster Children's Society. And now leave. London earlier said they have no data for me. Okay? Right, so off note, I'm just going to read what's important from here. Are you in good health at present, if not state nature of illness? So yes, that means I'm in good health. However, have signs and symptoms of inherited Parkinson's disease. It's in my DNA. That's my father over there. And my father and his youngest brother had Parkinson's. I still haven't worked out now where in my DNA. I've had my DNA estimate. It came from, that's my DNA estimate, right? Right, so the next one, it says, have you ever suffered from nervous or other similar illnesses? My life is an open book. I disclose. I've now had access to my file. Chronic anxiety symptoms of Parkinson's disease that is inherited and genetic. So you see over there, my chronic anxiety diagnosis that I got to do my exam, health and social care. What else is of interest on here? Because I'm going to be tired. So more information. And the information that I want to get there is, please insert any information that you think is necessary for the HR department to know in case of emergency. I have genetic inherited Parkinson's disease, in bracket undiagnosed. As a result, I have altered and made changes to my lifestyle to facilitate my condition. At the same time, I try my best to keep out of situations that may trigger and exacerbate the condition. Although I had been prescribed drugs, in bracket Valium, in the past to control the condition, I prefer to take a holistic approach to control my coping so I do not get addicted or too reliant on prescription drugs. So this one, 13th of April 2010. And the next one that would be there, and this would be on my file, is I was signed off on the 2nd of the 4th, 2014, stress. Whenever I am in crisis, I seek out the professionals, yeah, to help me. I work with the professionals. Right, so the next one, as you can see, I'm going to show you how I manage my disabilities, chronic anxiety, hidden disabilities, trauma, and I've learned of another phase, mask of sanity. Yeah? So I'm going to try and use it now in my podcast. This mask of sanity. So here it says the date, 21st of the 8th, 2010. Mervelee. Hello, Mervelee. I need your help. I'm doing a research project with June. The research is a voice of a child. I'm going to be in on Thursday, crossed out Wednesday, and I have booked you out all day. This is the plan. Exit interviews, Christian, Fio, and Tommy. Complete the exit interviews with the children and film it. Children's planning meeting. Small group of children, 4 and film, in bracket. I suggest that you get yourself familiar with the video recorder and practice before Thursday. Any queries, please do not hesitate to call me. I don't mind. I'm going to turn the seating off. I think my stomach is finished. Yeah? So I want to show you from when I'm doing the work. I'm doing the work of these people. And what do I get? The past 7 years, the backlash. So I use my mask of sanity to be supportive of others. Because of my condition, I was the EYFS coordinator, I was the SENCO, I was the multi-generational working approach facilitator. But I developed resilience from a very young age as a result of whatever happened to me that caused my trauma. Poverty, everything included. But instead of continuing to be the person that I would find so much pleasure in carrying out her research for her, she's now changed and become a psychopath. And she is Jonah Sullivan. Right, so I'm gonna put this down now so I can get the other thing. Right, so the next one you see there is the date, 25th of November 2011. And I don't know if I should read this. I'm not going to read everything, but I should read this. Dear Mervelee, leader, liaison practitioner, thank you very much for attending our offices on the 21st November 2011. We were very pleased to see you at the interview, but I regret that I must write on behalf of Karen Walker, Mona Majid and Glennis Mates to advise that we have decided not to offer you an appointment. I'm going to capture the rest on camera. Yeah? Because the first paragraph is the important aspect of it. I came back from holidays. I attended the LEAF annual conference. This time they were LEAF, as you can see. And at the annual conference, I was wearing my cultural clothes. I tried to... The keynote speaker was Michael Gove, 2011. Elizabeth Reed was the person who told me about the post. I applied. I was the only one shortlisted from LEAF, and yet I did not get the job. That caused me to have a meltdown. Yeah? I had booked to go out with friends, and because I didn't want to let people down, I went out. My husband was so concerned about me. We weren't married then. And that's when I decided, you know what? I've had enough of going after jobs and then ending up in this sort of a situation. Let me work to get my pension. So I throw myself into work. I just want you to take note of the names I've just called. Michael Gove, Karen Walker. So that was 2011. By 2013 or thereabout, Karen Walker was the top of the brass. My head is gone, headspace is gone now. Head of Children's Services, you see? I use the word and then it comes to me. So Karen Walker was the head of Children's Services. She had written and co-written a book, co-authored a book with whoever, the EYFS, and I have my own copy here because we all had our own copy. And by 2013, after training, Karen Walker had to write an on-the-spot resignation. They tried to do the same to me. I'm just trying to explain what LEAF is. And then, I guess that's when, now I've learned about mask of sanity. Because mask of sanity can be used for coping, it can be used for therapy. Yeah? I use mine for coping, I use mine for therapy, I use mine for inclusion, I use mine for diversity. I use mine for whatever. But I think June O'Sullivan, that's when she was going down the pathway to becoming a psychopath. Because I'm sure now she must have sanctioned Karen Walker's dismissal. Yeah? And after Karen went, Dervla was acting in Karen's place. Then Dervla went and June O'Sullivan brought in Rashid Iqbal. When I reach upon Rashid Iqbal's name, I say more about that. So I need my hands to whatever. Right, so here I've written on this. Focus on how I was made a victim in 2 workplaces using data from disclosures of my disabilities in breach of the Equality Act, protected characteristics. Refer to consultation re-crisis, cardboard citizens, videos online. Refer to the role of the police in this Counter-Terrorism and Security Act and Counter-Terrorism and Preventative Mechanisms, which I am using now as part of my creating these. So this is what it's all about, what I'm talking about, yeah? And these are some rules of laws. As you can see, I'm not reading all of them. I'm just trying to get them on document. And I talk about protected characteristics, the Equality Act. And I talk about the police. So they have gone now with that file over there to use Criminal Damage Act 1971 after coming in my house to beat me black and blue. Their intention was to murder me, to say I committed suicide. So here is something I'm going to show you. I tie in with that because that was 2011 and this is 2014. So this is a part of a book of cards that was made for me at Luton Street for my leaving. Sandra Delgado, over there is the bag, and over there some other things that I got. So here, as you can see, that's I photocopied this because I need it for my podcast. Dear Mervelee, your, look at the writing, your, so it should be you are, or how they shorten it. You're a unique character that will be missed. Loads. Come see us, Gemma. So Gemma was the new manager after Julie left. And when Ofsted turned up, she was newly come to Luton Street. I was the one who lead the Ofsted. And in the process, I was not getting a lunch break. And because I feel my sugar level going down, I had to request a lunch break. I got a few minutes. Yeah? So it's not now. This thing has been happening more than I used to get it. Yeah? They expect you to work throughout your lunch break. I remember once I was at a funeral after they pushed me out, and Stacy wrote on Facebook, it's going 3 o'clock and she hasn't had a lunch break yet. And with this diabetes, I didn't know Stacy had diabetes. Go online, you see Stacy, she's manager, new course. Okay? So I'm going to read this. Dear parents, carers, to celebrate your child's achievement and to say a big, see what I said about whatever, to celebrate your child's. So it's child, there's no apostrophe in the your, in the child's, manager. And to say a big goodbye, we will be holding a graduation ceremony at Luton Street Community Nursery. This will take place between 10:30 to 11:30 on the 22nd of July 2014. It's not there. This will also be Mervelee's last day at Luton Street as she transfers to another nursery closer to her home and family. So please join us in saying a big thank you for all the commitment, passion, and hard work she has shown over the past 4.5 years. I hope to see as many of you there as possible. Gemma Mann's nursery manager. I will come back to something like of this of nature later, but I need to get paperwork out of the place and just dump things so I can clear my headspace, yeah? So that goes there. Right. So, remember what she said about my commitment or whatever? I'm just going to bring something down now to tie into that. So here, as you see, it says Tuesday, March 27, 2012. It's my handwriting, except in this middle bit. I'm not going to read the middle bit because it's not relevant, and I don't know why it was there. But that's how they override their whatever. If they think you are showing your skills and expertise, they have to override. So, okay, safeguarding vulnerability matrix. Because of the recent outbreak of chickenpox in the nursery, I would suggest we suspend the visits. Here I am, I'm suggesting. And I did not say I say we. Yeah? I doesn't make a team. We. I suggest we suspend the visits to Penfold Street until things are back to normality. It is important that the team is aware of safeguarding issues that may impact on the well-being and welfare of both the young children in our care and the elderly residents living at Penfold Street. And all I will read there, and I put thanks Mervelee. Good idea. That's what the manager wrote, not Gemma Julie at the time. I popped in and spoke to them. I don't believe it. Right, so then she wrote something that have nothing whatsoever to do with the issue of safeguarding or whatever. So I don't know why she thinks she had to put this on there. There should be a folder there. So this would be my writing. All right, at 2:05, that's me finishing, I called 0207-641-5470, the number Katie got from the internet for Penfold Street. I was directed to call another number, but I could not hear this clearly. Katie tried the number again, but no one was answering. Thanks, Mervelee. Am I not doing my job for safeguarding? I should think so. Right. So this is another one, and I'm not going to read in its entirety either. I'm just going to tell you the date. I'm not sure there's a date. Yes, 13th of August 2012. Subject updating rebook. So I've contributed to so many things. Just to give you reassurance that I am on the ball. So it's addressed hello love. Hello love. Manager and whatever talk, I guess. Today all staff will be given your chapters to digest. So it's Minnie, whatever her name is pronounced, I'm not sure. Kong Bear. Stacy and I are having a meeting to discuss research and design a program of how we can undertake this project and how we can include the whole team. My outcome will be supporting my own nursery actions in line with the SEF, and I shall be documenting our findings and evaluations. You, Minnie, will be given 2 weekly updates from Mervelee, my EYFS coordinator, and of course myself in person. Today letters will be given out to parents. Warm regards, Julie. Many thanks. Yeah? So when I went to Big Child Care, Leave Big Child Care conversation on the 19th of September 2015, I met up on Minnie. Yeah, as you can see, this was 2012, 2019 now. So I was saying about going to my Open University annual lecture or something, and she wanted to know if she could come or attend. So this is her giving me her email address. And as you can see, it's still on Westminster Children's Society note paper. Right, so I need to get the other one down. And I'm not going to read through all of them, I'm just documenting. But these are the main points to show you how I have not changed. It is June O'Sullivan who has changed. So this is an outline of the book, which I'm not going to read. Yeah? Can't read everything. I'm just documenting things because see, even the battery is going down. So here you have nursery practical example required for book. Chapter 2, Rossua. I hope I'm saying it right. Chapter 3, Bell. Chapter 4, the Macmillan sisters. Chapter 5, Piaget. Yeah? See how confident I am with the Piaget. I don't know much about Rossua. But I know about Bell and the Macmillan sisters. But the most I know more about Piaget. It's common. Right. So here you see on this one now, it's to do with bird in the bush. Look at the date, 28th of the 11th, 2014. And these can be considered as threats. Yeah? If you are not coming into work due to sickness, I was on sick leave. So when this was done, when this incident with the towel occurred, I wasn't at work, I was on sick leave. But, of course, they have to band everybody into it. If you are not coming into work due to sickness, you need to inform me, Nicola or Sao, via phone, email or text. If you are or are not returning to work the next day, you need to notify the nursery before 4 p.m. so that we can accordingly. Failure to do so will result in disciplinary action. Yeah? You see how quick the disciplinary? Who was copied in? Hilda Miller, Rashid Iqbal, June O'Sullivan. I don't need to read the rest of it. I'm just catching this and focusing on the main points. Yeah? So here is this. Here's another thing now. So I think I copied this because this is from a book that I was given at Luton Street. This book has been bought just for you. I'm not going to read that either. So here is what Lynn Kelly wrote. If you remember our latest Ofsted, the inspector commented that she had never come across such a strong team who treated each other with respect. And lately, I have observed staff speaking to each other in a tone that is unacceptable and will no longer be tolerated. Yeah? I'm not reading the rest. I'm just showing you. Yeah? I'm just showing you the tone. Yeah? Because she's saying tone that is not tolerated, but at the same time, she's issuing threats of disciplinary. Yeah? So is that double standards or what is it? I don't know. So let me get on with it. Right, so when I was going through my trials and tribulation, I'm just going to read a little bit from one of my key children. She's now a published author and have her own website, and here I am. Breakdown after breakdown. I've developed an eating disorder and whatever. I'm not sleeping. I'm just barely existing the past 7 years. Okay, so I'm just going to read where it's important to me. Okay. Dear Mervelee, Mom gave me the phone to tell you something from the deepest depths of my heart, in brackets, not for real, and a smiley face. That you are the person who taught me good manners, to make friends and to say what you believe in. I am turning 11 in 3 days. My birthday wish will be for you to have a great life and that you succeed in whatever you are doing. Stay strong. You are a soldier with no armor except for knowledge. Use it wisely or you will get beaten up by the big bully who has all the armor and weapons but no knowledge. I miss you so much. P.S. I did that quote on the spot. Best wishes, Melissa Shabani. Yeah? I'm just trying to tell my story, what has happened to me since the death of my mother that put me here. Yeah? Right. So this is amendments. Yeah? Amendments to appendices reinvestigation in meeting. So I'm not going to read it as I said. I'm just tracking whatever I need to track. I can't read everything. So here it is. I'll read the headlines. Appendices re-investigation meeting. Appendix 1, page 1, lights. Appendix 2, page 2, send concerned and IEP. Appendix 3, page 3, banana incident. Appendix 4, page 3, being responsible. And I'm sure you've listened to what I said about who is being responsible. Appendix 4. No, Appendix 5, page 3, Thursday incidents. Appendix 6, other issues. Yeah? Yours truly, Mervelee Myers, FD Open, Nursery Officer, 21st of March, 2015. Yeah? So here it is. That was me making my amendment. I just don't accept anything anybody does per se, because I am the one who always come out worse for wear. So I make sure anytime anything is not clear, I clarify. So alright, the next one I'm looking at, I'm not reading either. Did it go all out? Okay, went all out. So this is, as you can see, I've put in pen on top, Darren Mahan. And this is, see, my address. Somebody phoned today about my computer. And the person was getting in a strop because he can't find my address is 16A to 16B, and I'm telling him, no, I won't be accepting that. I did not put that as my address. That is not my address. It's causing me concern. So this was when it all started. Leaf, they tampered with my data. And down to today, I'm having problem. So all I'm reading from this, it's invitation to a disciplinary hearing. And that's the Neil King. And that is why I'm questioning now, that I'm finding out about certain things. I'm listening to podcasts. I'm listening to Murder Analysis by Christina Moore. I'm listening to other things. And I'm learning about Mass of Sanity. Yeah? And I'm thinking, why did Neil King, in his big job, run off? Yeah? I put in for an inquiry in the early years and it wasn't done. But with what I'm finding out about pedophilia and pedophiles and how they operate, I have a lot of questions to answer that needs answering, and some of them who jumped ship. Yeah, they were blogging about men in childcare. Why have they jumped ship? Are children at other settings that they are now in danger? Who knows? So I'm going to try and speed up. Right, so this is the form that was filled by Dillis Ipton. Yeah, as you can see, health management. And I'm just scanning it so it's on record. Because wherever you see little signs and different color than my writing, there are errors. So that tells me Dillis Ipton doesn't know about anything to do with employment laws, to do with the Equality Act, to do with any of the SEN Code of Conduct, anything. Yeah? And that's why there was so much blunder. Like John Fenton, who later turned out was not a lawyer but represented them as a lawyer. So this is what I have done. So I need to hurry up because the battery is running down. Yeah? So I'm scanning these. Right, so the next one is 13th of April 2015. I am writing you to advise you of the outcome following the disciplinary hearing you attended on the 7th April 2015. There again, from when? And all I'm not gonna read everything. I'm showing you the name that's attached here. Rashid Iqbal. He was brought in, as I said, on positive discrimination. Are there questions now that need to be answered about why he was pushed? And yet he was pushed and coming to the employment tribunal as a witness line. Rashid Iqbal didn't know me. None of the witnesses that were on that thingy know me for any length of time. Yeah? So the other one now, I'm writing to advise you of the outcome of the disciplinary appeal hearing that you attended on Wednesday the 13th of whatever. And I want you to look on the name on this one. Louise Cooper. Because it was only because I'm very alert to things that an article was written at Bird in the Bush, as you can see, Director of Business Development. And it was only because I was alert I came across that article. Yes, I signed a contract. Yeah? But after what they done to me, get Bateswells and Bradway to contact me and whatever was done, getting, when the judgment went online, getting Twitter and Facebook legal team to contact me. I've been targeted by Facebook from the 18th of September 2019 to where I'm now wiped out. As you can see, nothing. Facebook was really trying to scam me. As soon as I put a post there, I must advertise. I have about 15 pages or 16 pages on there. They go and they select my post that I should advertise. Why would I be advertising fingernail? Anybody who knows me know I have a fetish for fingernails. I grow fingernails, they break, I start growing again. But what I need to say again, I have that and I'm going to use those as a podcast. I saw a Louise Cooper in the Daily Express. Same finance. It can't be two different persons. I started making queries. Like when I make queries about anything else, it's disappearance. All right. So this one now is from the date, 21st of May 2015, from Dilly Sipton, copied into Hilda Miller. Where is Hilda Miller? Was she one of the ring too? Yeah? Throw the baby out with the bath water? Yeah? You will find out more about me and her when after I went for a diabetes check, she come in and ready to, I don't know. So I put her in her place. Nicely. As I know how to, respectfully. Yeah? So here it is. I'll read this one. Further to your appeal hearing, the results of which have been notified to you, we need to meet with you to discuss the following outcome. The medical report. The medial report. Well, typographical error. To organize your return to work. Yeah? I don't need to read the rest. Only to say, at the appeal hearing, they claim they did not get the medical report from Dr. Laura Crawford, who sent me to occupational health them. So they had to disrupt the meeting to go read my medical report according to them. Yeah? At the disciplinary hearing, Darren Mahan had to ask questions. Was it a discipline? Was it a gross misconduct or a misconduct? So you see what I'm saying about. Yeah? Leave is just a shambles. And all to do with June O'Sullivan mask of Sanity slipped from the time she was invested with an MBE. Yeah? So she decided whatever was in her past with her unwed mother, children, I learned these things from listening to her webinar. Whatever was in her past, she decided to become a psychopath. Yeah? I find out things about her from her webinar and her podcast. Yeah? She wants to be a destructive influence. She was a former mental health nurse. So that's why my file is missing and she using it to whatever. So that's why today when I was doing YouTube live and I started saying things because I'm watching professionals and whatever they're doing and using it to tie up my thingy because these things have been in my head. And when I started putting some theory out there, all of a sudden, that one person who would be there from start till finish, gone. Yeah? It's got to be a reason, touch a nerve. Right, so this one is the 29th of May. Hi, Mervelee. Subject, Tuesday, 2nd June at New Cross. It was good to meet with you and agree your starting date for New Cross Nursery and the arrangements for working there. I will have the notes of the meeting for you on Monday or Tuesday at the latest and will forward them to you by email. So I don't need to read everything. I don't have spickle, I'm not eating properly and everything. I'm just showing you some of the things that's there. Yeah? And I'll put back in order because I'm going to chuck out some and I'll need some to use for other podcast material. Right, so this is now the 27th of June. I want this to go off. And it says, private and confidential, return to work. So this is from me to Dilly Sipton. Hi Dillis, thanks for sending me the correspondence I requested. Because of my experience at BIB, which ended up leaving me traumatized and with a record of myself that I failed to recognize, I just don't wish anything to be left to chance, and I find myself in such a situation again. Hence the reasons I'm dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's. I tell you how I operate, and this came about because of what they done to me at King's College Hospital NHS Foundation Trust. Yeah? So I was making sure my mask of sanity did not slip to where it was going to affect my disabilities and my ability to function and carry out normal day-to-day activities. I honestly can say I am feeling much happier in the new environment at New Cross and is looking forward to having the children starting so I can get on with the job of doing what I do best. Working collaboratively as the practitioner, as a professional that I am in the team, making valuable contributions. I got home on Friday and there was a message from the NHS counsellor. I have to call her back to hear about the next steps in my consultations. Will keep you informed as soon as I get information. Am I not the responsible person making sure I pass on information? Okay. So this is now, so this is in reverse. So this is now, I need to read this. Because some of this, that's why I tell you, some of these people do not understand English. They have English as an additional language, I suppose. Yeah? And just to put on record, I pass GCE level English at attending Manning School evening class. Yeah? So 22nd of June 2015. Dear Mervelee, I'm responding to the points that you raised in the email of the 14th of June. I am sorry for the delay. This woman loved to say sorry for delay. She's always delaying. In one thing that she wrote, she sent me in the first paragraph, 2 sentences in the first paragraph. Sorry 2 times. Yeah? Because I tell you, this woman was being discriminated against. Yes? And that's the only reason she behaved the way she did. I am sorry for the delay in replying, but I was on holiday. She's always on holiday. the week before last, and I'm just catching up with all the emails. Yeah? So, they set your targets. You can't miss the targets, but they can do as they please. It goes up to the employment tribunal. Firstly, I have attached the notes of the meeting of the 26th of May 2015, which you had with Hilda and me. I am sorry. Here again. I am sorry that these were not forwarded sooner. Yeah? Do your work so you don't have to say sorry. What sort of professional are you? But various holidays and leave intervened. If I am going on holiday and I'm going on leave and I have certain things to do, they are sorted. Yeah? There were action points from that meeting to be addressed, but it was not intended that there would be a specific document entitled return to work as such. You see how methodical I am when I'm writing my thingy? But they are telling you how they operate and don't adhere to the guidance of the laws. Reason that the outcome action points from the meeting were as follows. See attached document. MM mentioned that she had not realized the impact of bereavement that she had suffered immediately before joining BIB, and that's a lie. Not me mention it, not me. Yeah? And I can go back and say why it wouldn't impact on me. My uncle was chopped up in his yard on a Sunday morning. I was pregnant the first time. My other uncle was murdered. And that resulted in my grandmother having a broken heart. My grandmother came out to put talcum powder on her son. She never came back out. Yeah? So I'm not going to read all of those. Right? So I'm just telling you, so that's a lie. I wouldn't have mentioned anything. My grandmother, the one who died of a broken heart, and my father died a month of each other in 1980. Yeah? So whatever is Dillis Ipton talking about, I do not know. And my thing is going down and I'm trying to find somewhere where I can plug it in. But it's not going to work, is it? Don't think so. Anyway, I'm going to hurry up and see if I can capture. So I'm not going to read any more of this. I'm just doing the main points. And I do the show around. Yeah? So that's what she did. Dillis Ipton Senior HR. I can't read everything. Yeah? So this is the grievance. Yeah? So one of them, yes, the grievance was about 37 pages of grievance I wrote. I write enough. I had to condense it to 1 page. The reasonable adjustment, as you can see, I think that was about 8 pages. I had to condense to 1 page. And then the employment tribunal said I did not put this, I did not put that, I did not refer to this, I did not refer to that. How do you condense an 8-page document into 1 page and get everything in? And how do you condense a 37 page into 1 page? 37 pages and get everything in? Right. So 24th of August, 2016. Good to meet with you. Thanks for sending your CV. So this is to Abawa Adibai. Good to meet you. Thanks for sending your CV. We'll be in contact as soon as I know the position. So I'm just going to go up there and show you why this is there. So I was advised when I done my training, my LSA, to do volunteering so I could train as teacher to teach adults, 16 to adults. So that was one of the projects that I done. That was other one was when I was on Sky News. That was when I was advised to use my assignments as my first whatever. As a result of HCT group have the working partnership with Leave. I was not allowed to do the training. So I'll show you what I took when I went for the whatever. When she said glad to meet me. That's my file of work. Yeah? This is the file. She was in shock. Yeah? And from I resigned with the second nervous breakdown, I have not had a job. I've not had a paying job. I could not even get volunteering. Right, so as I'm saying, so I'm not reading everything. I'm just showing her how I've been treated, and it's not whatever. So all right. What date is that one? So this is when, as you can see, DBS. My email was used for online DBS application. Yeah, when I phoned them up, they said no, it couldn't happen. Then all of a sudden everything changed. So at all times I become the victim. Yeah, 21st of October 2015. Yeah. So all right. So this is something I responded. Martin Bunch Leave solicitors. Yeah. So this is something I wrote to them. Because they had contacted me on the 24th of September 2015 with threats from Leave. Yeah? And see, I mentioned about Arwin McKenna or whatever. So the person's name from Bateswells and Brathwaite is Martin Bunch. So as you can see, I can't read it because my thing is going down. I'm just putting this on record. Yeah? Right. So the next one now, to whom it may concern. So that's to DBS. Thanks for the email informing me about the withdrawal of an online DBS for leave that has been withdrawn on my behalf. I did not make that application. Yet, at court, they were saying, employment lawyers were, barrister, judge was saying it was okay. And if you read the judgment online, you'll see that they agreed. Whoever done it, it was all right. And whatever they said, I did not make that. Yeah? Because at the time I had a DBS for resources for autism. I'm working with them for years. And they let it run out and then want me to copy. Bring it for them to copy. Yet resources for autism did not accept theirs. I had to do a new one. So that's why I said no. Right. So as you can see, I just don't. I wrote up to Bateswells and Brathwaite. I wrote to DBS. And here it is. I wrote to Voice the union about the situation. All of them said it was okay. Yeah, but I know it's against the law because when I first contacted DBS, they said no, it was against the law. Right, so as you can see, I'm finishing up now. Yeah? And before I tackle this one, so in case the thing you run out, I will read this one. This is the reference. Yeah? As you can see, I was actively looking work. Yeah? And what they've done to me has crushed me with all you see, my certificates and training record and everything. 9th November 2015 to Adam Mead, NRS recruitment. Reference for Mervelee Myers. Mervelee Myers was employed by Leave as an early years practitioner from 1st September 2009 until 27 September 2015 when she resigned of her own accord during a disciplinary investigation before any disciplinary action had been considered. So that is total misconstrued. Yeah? Totally misconstrued. How can I have outcome for disciplinary and outcome for appeal and nothing was whatever? How can that be? This was unrelated to safeguarding. Why was she flagging safeguarding? During her time with Leave, Mervelee worked at several of the Leave nurseries, the last one being New Cross. So this is what I wrote. Adam Mead was told by DE that the reference should not be shown or given to me. Obvious DE was keeping updated with her job description, same way contract not updated from I signed. Yeah? So this is a copy of the letter. I sent one to Neil King, and I sent one to Dilys Ipton, and I sent one to Alison, whoever she was that contacted me. So it was 3 of these. Yeah? Maybe you might like to reflect on my last meeting with yourself and Neil King at CO. I told you a lot. I know exactly how you operate. When I told you, Dilys Ipton, to make sure you write certain relevant information down, you were subdued and claimed you were not writing anything down. Neil King on the other one was another kettle of fish. And I had to reflect that I don't know what kind of leaf he had rolled up or smoked beforehand to get the courage to come try bully, intimidate, and harass me into writing a resignation, because that white pen that he claimed was mine was not. Then he kept on asking if I was going to write anything, and I told him when I'm in the state I was in, I am unable to write. Bracket, the evidence is in my file that's gone missing. As you can see from my chronic anxiety, I can read it for you if there's any bar left. Tremors of hand. You both said you were leaving the room for 5 minutes for me to think and came back asking if I had written anything. But what resonated with me was the way Neil King became defensive and began to confess when I raised certain issues, the union voice, etc. I guess Lee thought I would be running scared when they got their big money solicitor to get in touch. But sorry to disappoint you lot, I wasn't. I was just recouping so I could defend myself. I already had to deal with some unscrupulous individuals from all sectors of society. So I know exactly what I was up against and to expect. I told Dilys at the meeting at HOC, House of Commons Nursery, about my life stories from childhood to date. But she was more interested in the negativity she heard about me from BIB. My life is an open book, and I keep my skeletons on the outside of the closet, so no one had to bother to go do the research. I believe in making life as easy as possible for myself and others. I have a copy of the few lines of reference Dilys wrote, and I'm telling you lot that I need to earn a living to provide for my basic needs. I have 6 years of service with leave, 5 of which I am sure I must have had made valuable contributions. If you are in doubt, I can give you access to my file that I'm keeping updated. I will end by saying leave have more to lose than I do, and I am also thinking of the employers who are relying on you. But if you continue with the vendetta you started when I transferred to BIB, I promise you leave won't be hearing the last of this. You got me out after spending a whole year of direct discrimination. You might just be interested to know that I am having my first counseling session with the professionals in a matter of days. More evidence to back up my story. Maybe I should start writing that book and submit it to collect some accolade or other. What do you think? I'm sure by now you must realize that this is not the ravings of a mad woman. I have mental health issues, but I manage them like all other deficits and limitations in my life from when I was born until I went to BIB. Leaf is responsible for what happened to me from I went to BIB to push me over the edge. If you are not careful, then I might just have to tell my story to the world. Because I am a generous and forgiving person, I might just take those 5 years into consideration. But if Leaf is intent on destroying me, I can play the game with the weapons I have gathered over 6 years. Regards, Mervelee Myers. Just remember what Melissa Shabani said about the weapons, the armors or whatever. And I just put in here that I learned my mom's story, the 1st of January. No, the month of January 2014, and my mom died the 1st of June 2014. I nearly missed my mom's story. Yeah? So these are some of the things I have that I want to put in there. Counterterrorism. Counterterrorism as a crime prevention and holistic approach. Yeah? Behavioral sciences. So I use this a lot now. Within democratic societies, counterterrorism is almost exclusively about crime prevention. A broad and holistic approach to preventing terrorism can be based on 9 preventative mechanisms. Building normative barriers against terrorism, reducing radicalization and recruitment, deterrence, disruption, incapacitation, protecting vulnerable targets, reducing benefits to terrorists, reducing harm and facilitating disengagement from terrorism. I am challenging and I'm asking that the UK government reinstate the petition. Yeah? For an inquiry in the early years sector. Yeah? And I will end it here and just show you some of what I've been writing down, listening to podcasts and things like that. Refer to how they leave, use unprofessional, uncooperative, rude, intimidating, confrontational, aggressive, lacking empathy, months after giving me a long service award to trigger my trauma. I've still not received my file from Leave. Yeah? And Leave said they have no data. Use subject access request. Leave said they have no data. Now, who has let their mask of sanity slip? June O'Sullivan. I am going to be digging deep to find out what sort of rings was being run at London Early Years Foundation. Was pedophilia involved? You want to read the website? I got three reviews. One from the deputy manager Joyty. I know her as Joyty Bahajwal. She write the review as Joyty Sharma. Yeah? About everything. The only abuse I haven't identified in those 3 is sexual abuse. But how do we know? How do we know? There was a pedophile ring at a Leave. What are they covering up? What is the police covering up? What is the employment tribunal covering up? What are the judges and EAT? What are the solicitors, Bateswells and Brathwaite? John Fenton, who pretended to be a lawyer. Samantha Jones, Wambu Bon Dickens, all of those involved. What are they covering up? Yeah? And I'll go back to taking out whatever with the police and the IOPC. What are they covering up? Why they come to my house to murder me, to say I committed suicide? I'll end there. I was page 1 of Windows 70. Theresa May was page 2. It has got to be a reason. Get a life, get a grip. This is me. This is where I started. Yeah? This is where I started. Yeah? This is where I started to where I am now. A shadow of my former self. That's when I first appeared in the press. I have to beg. To where I am now, a shadow of my former self. And living like I don't know what. And Leaf is getting away and operating out of House of Commons nursery. With the reviews online. With the publication by South London Press. I am going away now. But I'm not going away for good. I'm just going to recoup. Because I must honor my mother, the sacrifices that my mother had made. Yeah? When I noticed my mother hiding her thumb. And then after getting counseling, everything makes sense. Hearing her story, then getting counseling, everything makes sense. So if I did not hear my mom's story, my life would be incomplete. Yeah? And that's my ethnicity mix. ethnicity estimate. So I'm closing it off here. And thank you, God, for keeping me. I don't know how I'm going, but I'm going. Not eating, not sleeping, but somehow I'm surviving. And I just put this in there. Although I haven't worked for 5 years, I still keep abreast of what's happening. I'm still in the know. I try to be in the know. So that's me. Goodbye. Yeah? So when did June O'Sullivan let her mask of sanity slip? Mine slipped for a little while the other day when I went down there. But they're not going to criminalize me. Who is responsible for my mask slipping? Them.